My colleague Nompumelelo Siziba is at that conference. A very good afternoon to Nompumelelo. Just give us a sense of what's happening there now.
Yes, well, as you say, we're here at the mining Indaba in Cape Town. It's the first in-person meeting. Last year they did have a virtual setup, which wasn't as long. It just ran for a couple of days. And of course, you know, people are talking about emerging from the COVID-19 pandemic, although of course some countries are still experiencing the worst of it. How to go forward, given that many economies suffered as a result of the impact of lockdowns and so on and so forth. Innovation, you know, investing in technology to boost mining is another area. This is an investment conference, basically, as you say, where financiers, people who have money and people who have the mining know-how, as well as governments who create the regulatory framework in their various countries, are meeting to be able to basically fix deals whereby there can be a continuation of deals, of programs that are already in place and new ones. Of course, the big discussion point right now, in line with us all being worried about climate change and the mitigation thereof, is this whole issue of a just transition. It's a conversation that we've had many times on our show in Zinga with a number of guests. You know, ensuring that we're able to move to a more climate neutral type of situation, while at the same time carrying everybody along. If we look at communities in Mpumalanga, for example, where there's a big emphasis on the use of coal, and we know that there's a move for there to be a shift out of coal by a certain time, 2050 or whatever, globally. There needs to be a just transition where those communities are going to be able to do something else, maybe in the renewable energy space, while at the same time ensuring that we limit our carbon footprint. So these are some of the discussions that are being had. There are so many discussions being had. You know, many people have perceived the mining industry as a capitalist industry, whereby, you know, these white men come from overseas, come and plunder resources and take them overseas, and then come back and sell beneficiated materials to us, which we pay at a higher price. And so there's continuing conversations about beneficiation. We had some heads of states come as well and give speeches. The president of Zambia, as well as the president or the prime minister of Botswana, also speaking immediately after our mineral resources and energy minister, Gwede Mantashe, just saying that they're open for business, but they want it to be on fairer terms, where there are things like beneficiation, where there's beneficiation within the African countries where these raw materials are taken out. Then there's the issue of ensuring that communities benefit, the communities who are living around the areas where mining takes place, that they're involved in actual supplying of mines, supplying to mines, and being involved in having real value, not only as, you know, getting benefits of, you know, community social investment type of investments, but actually being involved in being key players in the mining sector. These are conversations that have been had in the past, and they continue to be very important, because you do get incremental gains in this regard, but a whole lot more can be done. Of course, other areas that are being looked at, of course, are 4IR. The fourth industrial revolution is a huge area, not just for mining, but broader sectors. And this is going to help us gain more efficiencies, bring down costs in the way that we do business, and ultimately, hopefully, mean cheaper prices for the end consumer. So there are a myriad of things that are being discussed here. Later on this afternoon, there's going to be a discussion about the new kind of minerals that people need to be looking at investing or actually mining here in Africa. Things like iridium and lithium. Our PGM sector, that is our platinum group metal sector, is a very important one, and the largest in the world, the South African PGM sector. And so it's going to benefit, it's going to be able to be a huge beneficiary of the transitions that are being made as we all seek to have a better carbon footprint Also, as we reported the other day, they're going to be looking about a hydrogen-fueled economy where we use cleaner fuels to actually power industry, power mining, and so on and so forth. So a whole lot that is being discussed. I'm hoping to get into conversation with some of the key players so that we can look at specific areas. But there is a lot that's being discussed, and it's more than talking heads. Around me, unfortunately, we can't pan. There are lots of mini conversations that are being had where potential deals could be forged about investments in various parts of the continent. And this is why this meeting is so important, the connection of all the players so that investments can be made, hopefully for the betterment not just of business people, but the communities as well, and the broader economy, and so on and so forth. Nzinga, I'm going to leave it there, and hopefully as the day progresses we'll have some more interviews that we can play out later.
Nompumelelo Siziba reporting live from the mining in Indaba. They're just breaking down some of the issues that are going to be spoken about. We'll be crossing to her throughout the duration of that conference to find out what exactly is taking place.